Hey everybody, and welcome back to Hex Token Channel, Superman Crypto and Pulsechain YouTube, of course, streaming to over 10,000 subscribers on 3 channels. So a big welcome to everybody. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button on the way in, and definitely smash the bell for future videos. Hope you guys are enjoying it out there. We've got quite a bit of an update today about generally crypto as we wait for more projects to launch on Pulsechain. We are in that second wave of Pulsechain projects launching, which can happen over a couple of months. So very exciting to see that play out, including some of our biggest protocols, of course, like Liquid Loans and Power City ecosystems. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Let's see who's in the house, and let's go. We got a few people here. Never fear. We got Lights Beneath in the house first. Very good today. A bit overcast today, but still a nice day. Already done my walk earlier. I think I'm up to day, 96, I think I did today, day 96. Pretty sure that's where I was up to. So that's heading up towards that 300 mark. And, of course, a cool milestone with the 100 days coming up too. So keep your walks up, everybody. Keep health and fitness up. Hex, EHEX, PLS, PLSX, and send them for the win, 100%. Richard Hart Golden Crypto Strategy. That's the maxi strategy of this channel, of course. Big shout out to Richard Hart. And we just passed the 6 months for Pulsechain. So it's onwards to the next 6 months. That's pretty much it. We got Joey Torres as well. Hi, all. Good to see you, Joey. Welcome to the chat. Eddie is doing the smart thing, buying the dip. Woo! Yeah, buy the dip. We got a little bit of a pullback at the moment, so you can definitely pull up that, make the most of that. We got John Neeson house there. What's good, everybody? Good to see you, John. Welcome to the chat also. Brennan, our TA specialist in the house there. Morning, folks. Good to see Brennan. Pac-Man's in the house. Hey, bam. Let's go. Hey, Pac-Man, good to see you. Humberto as well, is it? No, Pulse Beta. No clues about fetch for Liquid Loan Super. No. So we're just waiting for it this week. Hopefully this week, Pulse Beta. That's kind of the play there on the fetch Oracle. So yeah, this week is expectation now. What else are we going to go to? Humberto, cheers, Superman RH family from Colombia. Hey, good to see you, Humberto. Welcome to chat again. We've got quite a few cool people in the house today. General says, hello, family. Been offline for a bit. Catching up again. Thanks, man, for making it easy to catch up. Ching, ching. We aim to do our best here on the old triple channels. Something like that. Wookie is here as well. Hex is the way. Yeah, well, Hex is the way is also an influencer. So I don't know. Are you meaning both things at once? Good to see you, Wookie. Pac-Man says 2 more weeks, lol, for Fetch Oracle. Yeah, maybe 2 more weeks. Now, this week is kind of the expectation around Fetch Oracle. We know that on the 6th, Crypto Crazy was talking with Walrus, and they had a conversation about that being a week away, just tidying up, having fixed up the issue for the Fetch Oracle and doing some audit tidy ups. And so this week is probably when we could reasonably expect it. I would suggest that if this week is really necessary if they're going to hit the November launch time frame. So that's kind of the play there. We'll talk a bit more about that a bit later. What else we got done? I think that's it. Should we get into it? Oh, we got Pumpkin L just jumped in there, snuck in there. Pumpkin L, love Hex steaks. Porterhouse steaks are good too. I haven't had a porterhouse steak for a long time, but I remember having them in the past. They were really nice. Makes me think of Rags to Riches every time you think of steakhouse, because Rags does all these live streams from these steakhouses and restaurants. Always makes me hungry every time he does it. Damn you, Rags. All right. Let's get into it, folks. We've got a lot to talk about, and we've got bigger things happening this year. So let's get into it. Bam. All right, let's get started with the stock market briefly, and then we're going to race into crypto. We've got a lot to talk about with Bitcoin and Ethereum. Stock market, anyway, Dow rides energy stocks to end higher ahead of inflation data. So this is Monday, right? This is the opening day for the week on the stock market. And we see that the Dow Jones managed to etch out a little bit of a rise there. So 0.16%, 54 points to 34,337. The tech companies, however, are not so exciting. We're just down slightly on S&P 500 to 4,400 there, down almost 4 points. So that's hardly moved. The NASDAQ with all the tech companies in it, down 0.22%, 30 points, down 13,767. So basically, it was a bit of a mixed day. The volatility index is up 4% for the Monday, and that's pretty much it. The dollar is down a little bit versus the trading partners there as well. Moving to commodities quickly, we got Brent oil and West Texas there. So West Texas and Brent oil. Let's just wait to see that if that changes or not. It looks like it's pretty stable there. So we've got $78.50 for West Texas and $82.70 for Brent oil. Looks like West Texas was up 1.7%, $1.34 So a little bit of movement there. Turning to gold and silver. Gold is up just over 0.65%, 15 cents to $19, $1,950, I should say. Silver there is pretty much flat at $20.37, so not too much happening there. Let's get into some of the news updates, though. Oil starts the week on a front foot, apparently, to boost energy stocks. ExxonMobil gains on big lithium bet. Now, that's pretty interesting there, that ExxonMobil and lithium. That's a real diversification there. Not surprised, though, of course, with all the electronics, right, and lithium being the one that people are after. So most of the lithium mines, of course, in South America, Australia, and a few in Africa, I think, but that's pretty much it at the moment. Of course, there's a huge amount of lithium in like Afghanistan, but it would be so expensive to get it out. So you normally go to the easiest and the lowest cost, right, to get your lithium out, but that's kind of the bet there. Energy stocks were supported by a rise in oil prices following last week's sharp losses amid ongoing concerns about slowing global demand, particularly from China, the world's biggest crude oil importer. And that's kind of the play there on the oil. In terms of interest rates, and the Moody's, I should say, cut U.S. credit rating outlook. So that's pretty bit of a big deal. I think Raz the Rich has covered that in full. So if you want to check out his live stream on that earlier today, it was only a couple of hours ago, I think. He covered the Moody's rating quite in detail, I believe. Government's shutdown risk is in focus. And of course, we've been tracking that as well with the stopgap measure. So we'll talk about that in a second. Moody's credit rating agency late Friday changed its outlook to the U.S. credit rating to negative from stable, while affirming its AA long-term rating. The warning comes just as concerns about another government shutdown enters the fray, with November the 17th deadline on Congress to pass the funding bill to keep the government open fast approaching. So that is the play there. Now, sometimes this credit rating, I'm not sure what Rags thought about this. But sometimes this can be a political play. Typically, a lot of these institutions are pretty much, I would argue, Democrat focused. So this may be a bit of a jab here at the Congress House. We'll see. October inflation data eyed. So that's the other big thing coming up. Fresh consumer inflation data in October is due on Tuesday, US time. Also kept bullish bets on the stocks sidelined, even as the report is expected to show a slowing in the pace of inflation. So that's good news for us, right, in the markets. That's what we really care about. Inflation expected to have slowed to a 0.1% pace on a monthly basis and up 3.3% on an annual basis there, from 0.4% to 3 and 3.7% respectively. So that's kind of the play there. Well, let's suggest a cooling of inflationary pressure. Fed Chair Jerome Powell last week hinted that the battle against inflation may not yet be over and a further interest rate hike was possible, a view that was largely backed up by a series of colleagues throughout the week, although we did get some people, digressing from that outlook. So far, so good. Really not expecting a change in the interest rates this year. I think that's pretty much in the money there. Let's go have a quick look at that and see what the market thinks. Got to go look at the Fed monitor there. So we've got 4 weeks and 1 day and 18 hours to go. So the last meeting for the Federal Reserve is on December the 13th at 1 p.m. Eastern time. Put that in your calendars, as I always say. It looks like we've got a 80%. Oh, it's actually got weaker, actually. So we've got 80% now. So it was up at around 90%. That's down at 80% there for no change. I'm still in that camp, no change. Obviously, got the inflation data coming out, so it's probably swinging back a little bit more. And we've got almost 20% saying that we're going to have a 25 basis point rate hike. So yeah, I'm hoping they don't go much further than 5.5%. Really, there's already a lot of pain in the United States with mortgages and commercial lending, bank lending, all that sort of stuff, regional banks. So the higher it goes, the increasing chance of cascade failure, right? So we don't want that really to happen. And of course, that affects real people's lives, right? Real people, not like us. We're not real people. We're digital people, but real people. It affects their lives. All right, jokes aside. We got January next year, 70% expecting a no change and 28% expecting a rate hike of 25 basis points to lead us into the new year. And of course, we're hoping for a very good Christmas time in crypto. We're also hoping for a very good New Year's as well, and maybe the beginning of that bull market. We've already had the 2 stages set. Of course, I say 2 out of 10. And of course, we're waiting for that big one. The big one, I would say, we had the first big one was getting over 30K, 30,400. And the next big one, of course, getting over 40K, and that's going to show some real strength for a potential rally into at least a mini bull run, which we're talking about 40, 50K, right? So that's kind of the ballpark there. All right, so that's pretty good for news on the stock market. Moves us into crypto, and we've got BTC at the moment 36,650. So that's just down a little bit there from the 37 to 38k range, down 1.2%. Bitcoin dominance at the moment is at 50.38%. Ethereum there is actually holding up strong. We're going to talk about that, why that might be. 20,069. Now, obviously, it was at over $2,100, but it is up 1.2% on the 24-hour basis there at the moment. Everything else is pretty much down except for XRP. That is up 1.8% at the moment, 67 cents. Solana and ADA are down over 5% there. Link and AVAX as well. And so that's kind of the play there at the moment. We're going to get deep dive into Bitcoin though. Let's do that. And we've got a lot to say about Bitcoin. So here is the Bitcoin chart. We've still got a window of opportunity opening up. You guys know. So we've talked about the Fed meeting, expecting a no change there. What else we got going here? We've also got the BTC ETFs. This window is going to be closing, right, on the 17th. This is the first window to try and get them approved, right? Remember, there's 12 Bitcoin ETFs. This is the big milestone, right? This is getting traditional finance opening up to the biggest capital markets in the world, finally getting them to formally start moving in the biggest way possible into crypto. So this is how big this is. This is, 2009 to 2023. We're finally here, right? We're finally here at this potentially the big door opening. Now, we're going to talk about what that might mean, but this is the first one here. Now, we may not get these approved in this window by the 17th. Basically, they've got to provide information to the SEC and get approval, and we may get 9 out of the 12 approved. That's kind of the current play at the moment. And then, of course, we've got window number 2 is the 10th of January. So that's a second chance of getting these approved. So either way, I think it's kind of cool. And I think maybe the January ones may be more likely. So we'll talk about that in a minute too. But that is a window. And of course, that would mean that we've got a bigger draw up potentially into a Bitcoin rally there. So I think that might be a more bullish thing. We could have a bit more of a curvy wave to get there though. But that is kind of the play at the moment. Now, remember this budget stopgap measure as well may end if they don't make a deal. There's a lot of politicking going on between the Democrats and the Republicans and the Senate and the House and the executive as well, right? The executive talking about vetoing certain things because that's just the way it goes. I won't get too much into that, but that is the play. And of course, the other thing is that if they do that, we may get a stopgap measure back to the 17th of January, which would put us out here, the back end of the window here. But I kind of still see this as it wasn't really too much of an issue, I think, especially if we get a stopgap measure. But the other issue is, of course, that we just got that Moody's downgrade as well. So that sort of amplifies the smaller thing, maybe making it sort of a medium-sized thing. But we'll probably keep just push through that as well. So really, the window of opportunity continues at the moment, although we do have a decent pullback into the chart today on the Bitcoin there. Let's get into a bit more deep dive into the news around that. So kind of got some good articles here about this. So first deadline window looms for the SEC to approve Bitcoin ETFs, even if approved by November the 17th. So we saw that on the chart, right? That's this window here, this line here. Even approved by 17th, the spot Bitcoin ETFs are unlikely to come to market for at least a month after approval. So that would still push us, a month after approval, that would still push us, how was that to 17th of December. So just before Christmas. That's still the play there in terms of the money coming in. So if we did get an approval here, we may very well, and typically what we see in crypto, we may have a sell the news, a buy the rumor, sell the news event come down before capital actually starts to flow in again. Although obviously capital has been flowing in anyway. And of course, you front runner, you get cheaper Bitcoin, you push the price up, and then you've got your clients, right? You imagine having a portfolio of clients at these big financial institutions like BlackRock, and then you sort of saying, hey, we're getting all this crypto early. It's really a race. They're all racing against each other, right? You got 12 different ETFs. They're all got different marketing desks, and so they're all doing competing against each other ultimately, which is good for us, right? Good for capital flow. So we might get a bit of a sell the news event, and then potentially rise up if we get that approval like that. Otherwise, we might just continually get a sort of zigzag up here as people anticipate the rumor, and then of course they may sell the news down the back end. And then of course, if we get the second window in January. Then we got 30 days from there, right? 30 days from there. So let's say we get the approval in January, and that's another 30 days before capital really starts, before they launch officially and capital flows in. That could be by the beginning of February, the 9th of February there, which is getting really close, right? Really close to the end of my chart here. Getting really close to the Bitcoin halving, right? If we start to get into February, early February here for capital to start flowing, for them to launch and capital flowing. Then BCTC halving is really close after that. So you can see what I'm saying. We're really set up for a pretty nice, assuming the stock market doesn't, do some mental thing, we're really looking at a really good setup for a bull market to continue to ramp up. And we may accelerate quite fast. So that's kind of cool. The United States Securities Exchange Commission, the SEC, could approve all 12 pending spot Bitcoin ETF traded funds applications by November the 17th, beginning on November the 9th. The SEC reportedly has a window to approve all 12 spot Bitcoin ETF filings, although maybe only 9 go through. We'll see how that goes, including Grayscale investment conversions of its Grayscale Bitcoin Trust as well, which is the big play there. And of course, that is the big owner of Bitcoin. However, even if the SEC approves spot Bitcoin, it could be more than a month before the products actually launch. So that's a very important thing to happen. Obviously, we looked at that if that does occur, and we got 2 different windows. So if we get this one, like I say, we're talking about a month from now. We're talking about in December the 17th for launch, and if we're talking about if it does get approved in January, we're talking about February, right? So, and the closer that gets to the halving as well. So it's going to be pretty interesting lineup there for crypto. The expected delay of the launch following SEC approval could be due to a 2-step process of launching an ETF. For an issuer to start a Bitcoin ETF, it must get approval from the SEC's Trading and Markets Division on its 19B4 filing and its Corporate Finance Division on the S1 filing or prospectus. Of the 12 Bitcoin ETF applications, 9 issuers have submitted revised prospectuses showing that they have communicated with the Corporate Finance Division. Meanwhile, NASDAQ filed the 19B form with the securities regulator on behalf of the $9 trillion asset management firm BlackRock for a proposed ETF, the iShares Ethereum Trust. The move signals BlackRock's intention to expand beyond Bitcoin with its crypto ETF aspirations. And this is good news, right? So we're talking about into Ethereum and other top quality assets as well. Now, this may potentially in the future could include Pulsechain, but I would suggest that would be after maybe the SEC's settlement. We'll find out what happens with versus the SEC versus Richard Hart. So I think it would be after that if they start entertaining that. So let's not get too ahead of ourselves. The move, which also is this month, right? So the meeting is on Tuesday potentially for the pre-council meeting for the Richard Hart SEC information discovery there, both electronic and testimonial. So that is coming in on Tuesday to this week for Richard Hart versus the SEC. So remember that they tied in Pulsechain, Pulsex, and all that sort of stuff in there. It's pretty weak form, but they did it. So that's pretty interesting. And of course, we have seen Richard Hart tweeting a lot lately, showing a lot of confidence there. I like that too. So who knows what that indicates, but generally it's a positive thing. And of course, we're not. I think the 28th of November is the meeting, the actual hearing. So 10 working days is the 14th, and then of course on the 28th is the pre-trial kind of hearing with the magistrate judge. So there we go. All right, so that is kind of good news there. The funds has already registered the corporate entity iShares Ethereum Trust in Delaware. At least 5 other firms are seeking SEC approval for the spot Ether. And of course, that is at the moment. So we've got Van Eyck there, ARK 21 shares of Vesco, Grayscale, and Hashdex. US Representative Zach Noon have jointly introduced creating a legal accountability. So that's a place there too. I think that's, have I finished? Yeah, I think that's it at the moment. So I think we're going to pass through that. So that's the first article there. The other one, of course, is this one here. Crypto experts project how high the BlackRock. So let's say we get it into one of these 2 windows. So we either get the launch in this window before Christmas time, or this one here into January, February, right between approval and launch. Well, we've also got how high, what might do to the price. Now, we've looked at this before, right? With the fund strat manager, Tom Lee, with 150K, and there's several other analysts in the 150K to 180K mark, which is pretty common. We also see there's quite a few analysts in the sort of 70 or 80K, which is, basically half that amount. So that's kind of the play on this one. Crypto experts predict, this is just some more analysis around potential prices. Crypto expert project how high BlackRock ETF can push the Bitcoin price. Recent estimates suggest a spot Bitcoin ETF from BlackRock could propel the Bitcoin market by 70%, driving a $54,000 price. So now you wonder why, talk about 40, 50K as a mini bull run, as opposed to an elongated bull market, something that goes for much longer, 9 months to 18 months or something. Typically, they're quite short if you think about them, but this one here could play out. It could be quite long, so we'll see. And it might be slower with some bigger jumps in it. But at the moment, we're seeing quite a good momentum in the move up higher. Driving to 54K price there. So that's kind of a good, I think, a pretty pragmatic view of potentiality either into December if we get an approval. We'll probably have a sell the news event, but then then they actually launch, capital starts flowing, and that's the other side of it, right? So real capital flowing, the biggest money potentially that crypto's ever seen. So even if there's a sell the news event, when the real money starts hitting the market, they're going to be buying Bitcoin, right? So the buzz around BTC's potential surge following the approval of a spot Bitcoin ETF has investors and the crypto enthusiasts on the edge of their seats, particularly as a major asset money manager, BlackRock, seeks to offer such a product. Building on this excitement, roundtable anchor Rob Nelson facilitated discussion with industry experts to gauge their predictions on the impact of such an approval could be on Bitcoin's prices. And so we have a quick look at this. Arnold referenced to Galaxy Digital's research, which estimated a rise of up to 70% for the market following spot Bitcoin ETF approval, potentially pushing Bitcoin to 54K valuation. So that's kind of the basis of that. He also cautiously noted the current dynamics of buy the rumor, sell the news. And of course, I've talked about that too. That's definitely probably going to happen, but it could be short-lived. It could be a short-lived game. Maybe traders make some money out of that. But then the real money starts coming in 4 weeks later, and when they actually launch, and then that starts pushing the market up into more of a long-term bull market. So those people get basically, they made some profits, but it gets stopped out there. Maybe a bit like Alex the Whale, right? Selling down the Hex the other day, or yesterday, was it? Indicating some price movement may already be reflected in Bitcoin's current valuation. Meanwhile, Nigerian projected a 25% increase within 5 days of an ETF approval, skyrocketing to over 100%. So you might have a short-term sell-off. It could be like a day or two, and then you get to some big rise up in the markets as the big players are in the game. This is the one thing you got to remember. The big players are coming into play. This is not little players. This is not like the past. And any sell the rumor event could be very short-lived indeed. And then the capital starts frying, right? Especially if there's a 4-week delay. If there's a 4-week delay between launch, those big players like BlackRock and all of them, they're all going to be competing against each other. Are going to be going, I want to get the cheaper Bitcoin first. And so that's kind of cool. And they're all on the sales desk, talking to the big baby boomers and all the rest of it to, get capital on. So skyrocketing to over 100% within a year due to simplified access for investors without the need for advanced crypto knowledge. And that's the big play there to all let's call them dumb investors, right? The dumb investors in inverted quotes, because they don't know much about crypto. They know they want some Bitcoin action, or they want some Ethereum action, but they don't know much more of that. And they just want people to custodial it for them. And that's the play there. So really, really excited about that. There's another cool little article insight there. Some other stuff that we got was around the excitement was of the probability of that happening. So one of the analysts there has talked about, this is James Steffert here. A new research note from me today, we still believe 90% chance of by the January the 10th of a spot Bitcoin ETF approval. So that's the second part. That's the second potential gate. So a lower probability for the first window to get it approved. And so that's the Christmas rally, but a stronger rally there, 90% chance of getting approved by the second window there on the 10th of January. So that is kind of the analyst's comment there. But if it comes earlier, we are entering a window where a wave of approval orders for all crypto current applicants could occur. That's all the 12, remember? So really, really bullish on that one. So that was a kind of cool little insight into that. So we've really covered the two windows, the timing. We've also covered the actual difference between approval and the actual launching of the products. And then, of course, we've also covered potentially where the prices might go to in the short term. And of course, in the longer term, we've also covered the probability of which of these two events would happen. So I think we've covered quite a bit on that, which leads us into Ethereum. Ethereum at the moment has had a very good day in the office. Look at that green wick. So even did better than Bitcoin. And we're currently at $2,059. We had a high of the day of 2,118, which is pretty good. If we go to the hourly, we'll have a quick look at that. We'll keep a look on the hour there. So then we had a big rally up here. Look at that. Woo, back down again. And we got up to 2,118. So not too bad at all on this one. We've got a couple of comments in the chat. I'll get back to those. So that is our Ethereum there. And we've got our golden cross here. The golden cross is just new too. So it's just a beginning. And it doesn't really look like a fake out with this current environment, right? So we could probably have a pretty good, nice little, decent little run on the Ethereum here too. And of course, Pulsechain, Bitcoin had gone cross a little while back, but this is basically brand new golden cross here. and the chart looks fantastic leading into it. So fingers crossed. And what's some of the excitement around this? Well, of course, we talked about Bitcoin ETFs. Well, Ethereum ETFs. You got it. The guys got it. BlackRock takes steps towards launching Ethereum ETF. So remember, BlackRock is one of the 3 biggest fund managers in the world. And, they're the ones that want to control your behaviors, right? They're part of the globalist fascists. But, there's pros and cons, right? You trade off. This is what they want you to do all the time. You trade off your wealth. And in this case, if you're in crypto, you're going to benefit from it. You trade off your wealth for control. For control. Obviously, true democracy and freedom on a broader note, that's, something you don't really want to do. But we're in crypto. I think we can get away with it, and we'll take the money, and we'll have to go to somewhere in the world that's free, right? That's still free. Anyway, we're going to move on from that. So BlackRock has officially confirmed its plans for a spot Ethereum ETF, a traded fund, through a filing with the SEC. The filing submitted by NASDAQ on behalf of BlackRock proposes an ETF named iShares Ethereum Trust. The move signifies BlackRock's intention to expand its ETF offering beyond Bitcoin, marking a significant step of the cryptocurrency investment strategy there. The filing comes after BlackRock registered the corporate entity iShares Ethereum Trust in Delaware, hinting at the imminent submission of the spot Ethereum ETF filing. Several firms, including BlackRock, have shown interest in currency-backed ETFs. At least 5 firms vying for SEC approval. So pretty cool on that. Speculation is growing about the SEC approving a spot Bitcoin ETF. And analysts have estimated January approval at the earliest, emphasizing SEC's cautious stance. So instead of getting that, the approval pretty much coming up soon, we're talking about that January target, probably more likely. But the SEC extended the timeline for ARCH21's Bitcoin ETF to January the 10th there. So that gives you a bit more weight potentially for the January launch instead of, the November-December launch and approval. So speculation grows in the price of several popular digital currency surges, and that's the way to go there. So I'm going to move on from there. But that is some of the cool stuff that we are looking at there. So looking really bullish for Bitcoin and crypto pretty much. And we've got a bit of a pullback today. But we've had a look at that chart, looking pretty good, right? So good news there. All right, that leads us into Pulsechain. And I think once we get through the Richard Hart stuff, through the courts and stuff like that, then maybe Pulsechain. Given how well it's going to perform in the bull market, we're expecting it to pound for pound to be the best performer from X returns and in terms of low gas prices that compared to everything else. So it will be on their radar, and it's probably a good time to start sending some letters to some of these ETF groups. So it's something that maybe if you're out there, you could do and get it on the radar. Obviously, they'd be waiting for the SEC, the thing to be dealt with. And then they could easily go into it, right? So that's kind of the play. All right, we're going to get into Pulsechain. Before we do, though, let's see who else has jumped in the chat. I said it was going to be a pretty fulsome sort of update around the ETFs for Bitcoin and Ethereum. So I think we went through some pretty good articles on that. We got up to Generin. We got up to there. We got Pumpkin Owl in the house there as well. Brownie's in the house. Hey, Brownie's been a little while. Good morning, all. Good to see you, Brownie. Welcome to the chat. We got Tintop as well. What's up, Excans? A big shout out to you. We've got about 50 people watching at the moment, so big welcome to everybody. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell. Now, if you want to get into our Discord link's in the video description. We've got a general Discord there at 16 cents a day. I get all the information, all the intel, and of course the best community discussions in there. You can talk strategy and everything else, non-crypto. It's such a great place to be. And I've also got a stealth launch for the strategy club. That's also in there as well. That's $35 a month, so you can get on there. That's got some secret little chat groups there. We're going to be talking about strategy around a lot of the top projects. So if you want to pump your bags, that's probably a good place to be once again. All right, so get in there, folks, on the Discord. And of course, if you haven't subscribed, smash the subscribe button on the channel. Pumpkin Owl says, I really like the Coast Onramp. I've used it a few times now. No issues. It's nice to be able to directly go directly into Pulsechain. CC stablecoin is becoming very widely accepted. Lots of peers. Great, says Pumpkin Owl. Hey, absolutely, Pumpkin Owl. And we are talking about that update today. So that's coming up in the project updates when we get to that news, which will be focused on on-ramps today. We're actually focused on on-ramps today. I despise ET. Ethereum gas fees, it's nice to avoid them. Yeah, it has been crazy, the gas fees on Ethereum, but we expected it, right? We expected it, and that's why Pulsechain's so good, because of the high gas fees. I'm going to bring up ultrasound money so we can talk about that when we get to the Pulsechain update. Crypto Class announced it. Good morning, Crypto Class. I saw Crypto Class put out a post on X social platform saying should she monetize. I saw there was a poll out there. Well, on YouTube, it's just part of the game, right? It's part of being a YouTuber. So there's my vote, Crypto Class. Go for gold. What else is in there? We've got Hexavator as well. Hey, again, good to see Hexavator. Welcome to the chat. Brennan says, am I an algorithm-generated humanoid? I think you're AI, created by Discord, the Hex Token Discord there. Thoschild, man, it's been a while. Tintok Class, Brennan, Superman, y'all, what's good? Hey, good. Welcome to the chat there, Thoschild. We've got a couple of influencers in the house there, Crypto Class, Thoschild in the house there. Welcome to the chat. Pudding Guru, morning, super. Good to see you, Pudding Guru. Welcome to chat also. Who else there? We've got Christian as well. Christian has been crushing it on crypto. Man, you have been actually doing fantastic. So well done to Christian there. He has been all over just about every project there is in Pulsechain. Kid Machine says 9-inch seems to have found a bottom. Fingers crossed. Yeah, I think people are looking for that bottom for 9-inch, and then it could have a nice little rally. Maybe have to be a bit more patient. Sometimes that can take a little bit longer than people expect. But definitely there's opportunity there. Pulseformer, hello all. Good to see Pulseformer. Welcome to chat as well. Kid Machine says they also added Hex LP farms on the ETH side. Oh, that's fantastic. So that's good news for the 9-inch there as well on the ETH side. PSI says a new stablecoin project going to launch on Pulsechain called PUSD. Yep, I've heard of that already. Once again, when they're getting into algorithmic coins, you got to be a bit more careful with those. We've got the two successful models coming to Pulsechain. Obviously, we've got Coast already. We've got the Liquidity Fork. Those are the two best, there. But yeah, just we'll be very cautious with that. Algorithmic coins, those typically don't do that well. And this one is very early, so be very careful with something like that. The goal is that it's managed by the community, runs stability miners, full decentralization. Yeah, we'll see how that goes on that one. We're keeping an eye out. Yeah, we already got an eye on it, PSI in the Discord. This is what we talk about in the Discord, heaps of projects like that. But thank you for bringing that to the chat. What else? Christian says people think ETF will make Bitcoin more valuable. I don't think so. It only benefits the corporations. Yeah. Well, it will benefit the whole crypto market, but it's only those who take profit after it pumps, right? That's kind of who it's going to benefit there. Harry Williams, yo, yo, yo. Good to see Harry Williams. Yo, 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 yo. All right. Jump through some of that. Who else has jumped in here? Christian says BlackRock can't be trusted. No, but you'll take their money, Christian. You'll take their money. We got Blair out in the house there. Hi, all. Good to see you, Blair. Welcome to the chat as well. Crypto Clay says, thanks. I will monetize and save for the next student giveaway. Make it juicy and see what they do. Yeah, that's great. Well, we wish you all the best, Crypto Clay. You're absolutely crushing it, and we love your content, so keep it up. And yeah, it's just the way it goes. This is YouTube after all. Now, the other one is X social platform, right? So X is slowly ramping up its monetization. It's the amount of long format videos and the monetization. So it's another very important platform to grow into. Well, but you're doing that too. So you're crushing it already. All right. Should we move on? We will. Well, let's go to Pulsechain and see how we get on there. All right. So Pulsechain at the moment, day 185. Day 185. Pulse there is at quadruple 0671, down 3.9%. So a bit of a cool off on the old Pulsechain there. A chance for DCAing. Pulsex there at quadruple 0215. That's where Pulsex is at the moment, down 4.8%, and that's not looking too bad either for a little pickup as well. We're at 21.5% of sacrifice, so still dramatically below the mean sacrifice price, which means if you're patient and you believe in Pulsechain, then it's just a matter of sitting there and holding, just holding on. The other thing is Pulsex has been the stronger performer, generally speaking, over the last week. So yeah, we'll see how we get on there. The buy and burn is just ticking away. A very, very nice, baby. Yeah, baby, yeah. 552.7 billion Pulsex has been bought and burnt. And I keep reminding people that is part of the superior tokenomics of Pulsechain, Pulsex combination. So really, really cool. 2.68% of the public supply has now been bought up and burned. And everything trading on Pulsex buys and burns, right? So to some degree, V1 versus V2 has slightly different tokenomics. But that is basically how it rock and rolls. And we like it. One Pulse at the moment, we'll get 3.12 Pulsex. So definitely Pulsex has got stronger. It used to be up around that 4-1. now down to 3.12 to 1. That's Pulse versus Pulsex. Now, the incentive token there is down under $1 again, 97 cents there, or 98 cents, down 7.8%. The ratio is at a new all-time low. Look at that, 14,563. And, of course, that's all being emitted from the Pulsex farms. We're probably heading towards 17 million incentive tokens in existence, and we've had 114,000 burned through the TRH GameFi protocol from Jacob and the BNB pot team there. Hex at the moment, 1.32 cents on PHEX, down 2.72%. And EHEX at the moment is at 0.7 of a penny, obviously being hit by Alex the Whale. And, of course, people have been talking about that on the X platform as well. And the combined price of EHEX and PHEX is at 2.02 cents. So we're holding on to 2 cents. But we were up around the 2.5 cents, and we got to a high of 3 cents. So we're at the bottom of the 2 to 3 cent range at the moment, which means you can DCA and pick up more Hex. That's pretty much it. One PHEX will get 197 Pulse at the moment, and one PHEX will get you 1.89 EHEX at the moment. So PHEX definitely stronger over that as well. All right, so that's day 185. Let's quickly look at the charts. This is the daily chart for Pulse. Pulse, and you can see it's just sort of tapered off there. We had nice little up charts here, and we've just come back down, and we're heading towards the middle of the Bollinger Band, which is at quadruple 0652. That's kind of where we are there. That's kind of where we're just cooled off. Now, the RSIs were overheated on a lot of this stuff, so we are cooling off on the daily. This is very good news. So if you can pick up the bottom on this move, that is very, very nice. We're back down at 56, and we probably needed that. We had an overheating here, overbought, and we were pretty much teasing the overbought mark here. Nice to have a little coolback so that we can just keep spiraling up here to new highs. So that's kind of the play there at the moment. I'm not going to go through all the percentages gains. I do that quite a lot. So we're just going to do a basic coverage of Pulse today. And this is obviously a good chance to pick up a bit more. Pulsex at the moment is, that's on the daily, on the hourly, sorry. Let's go to the daily. Pretty similar story here as well. Let me hide that. So that is kind of just pretty similar story. Obviously done a better relativity play recently versus Pulse, but that's kind of the play there above that. We're quite a bit above the Bollinger Band middle there. And the RSI is cooling off, not quite as much as Pulse. We're down at 62, but certainly that cool off is actually quite good for another run if we want to break higher, right? So that's kind of the play there on Pulsex. I'll probably do this percentages tomorrow or some another day. Moving incentive token, that is 97 cents, but the ratio is more important. And let's have a look here where we are. Look at that, new all-time low. Look at that thing. Whee! We're down at 14,562. And, of course, the Pulsex farms are doing that, right? So Pulsex, let's bring that up. Let's have a quick look at that before we move on. So this is the Pulsex farms. And where we going here? Farms here. Bam. So these are the returns at the moment. So 6% for Pulse X Pulse. Pulse Hex Pulse is 9%, and the bridged and stuff's between 45 and 50%. ETH, however, is down at 26%. So still holding up very nice APRs on these farms. Like we're over 6 months live, and the yields are still looking like this. I mean, fantastic. Incentives at the moment as well, 42%, 48% for Pulse and Pulsex respectively. So yeah, looking really, really good on the old Pulsex there as well. Now, the other thing, of course, we're waiting. Potentially, we might get single side staking for Pulsex, and the DAO. The DAO could be way more important depending on how it's set up. We do have a war chest, but of course, that's no expectations. We'll see what happens in that connection. You can make the connection, and of course, limit orders potentially as well on the Pulsex. That would certainly help Pulsex incentive and get that jump. The other thing, of course, we've got for both Pulse and Pulsex is we've got liquid loans coming and Power City. They're both going to collateralize Pulse and Pulsex respectively. Potentially, if the large players that sacrificed or that are holders on Pulsechain and Pulsex get involved with those platforms, we could potentially see an incredible economic driver into both Pulse and Pulsex. It removes a ton of supply off the market as well as adds a whole ton of buy pressure. So that's a win-win for the price, and could see some really, really cool things happen, including leverage, right? So nice on that one. So that's coming up ahead of us potentially this month. Hopefully, fingers crossed. All right, so that is kind of the play there. PHEX at the moment on the daily. Let's have a look at PHEX. PHEX, they're really cooled off here. The weaker of the two, but this might be the weaker of like compared to Pulse and Pulsex. But this has definitely got a lot more upside, I think, in terms of being quite aggressive when it does break to the upside. So keep an eye on the PHEX chart there. And yeah, so we've got to get back up over 1.5 cents here. potential move up to 2.2. So yeah, that's still probably in play there. Don't know if Brennan's in the chat, but you could probably comment on that. And so yeah, up and to the right there. So that could be quite aggressive, and we're wanting to see the next move on Hex is going to be quite aggressive, I would suggest, and it's going to leave people behind. So keep a lookout for that. Don't get too caught up in the the day-to-day when the values, your portfolio values going up and down. Just accumulating on these dips are probably a good play because we have got so much good macro environment stuff happening. And when Hex does move, it's going to move probably quite aggressive there too, and maybe into December as well. We've got the 4th birthday coming up for Hex, and of course in December, and that'll be the 4th year birthday, moving us into year 5. We've got a big share rate jump, of course, on the 22nd November, 1,400 Hex. So that's equivalent to maybe around $10 on Ethereum per T-share. So if you've got 10 T-shares, it's $100 extra you have to pay in terms of getting those, barring longer pays better and bigger pays better. And of course, that's about $20 on Pulsechain. So it makes a big deal. So it's $200 on Pulsechain for 10 T-shares, for example. So yeah, that is the play there on PX. Let's go to EHEX. EHEX here. EHEX here loves Alex. See how that's drawn out, the letter A. That's letter A for Alex the whale. I'm just teasing. But we got obviously had some Alex the whale volume in here, and little trickster out in the markets there, and just the way it goes. And this is obviously an opportunity to pick up cheaper as well. I do think EHEX has got a lot more vulnerability for the time being. Also, there's BankX out there too, but this thing will probably move up and rally as well. And you also still got the parity play between EHEX and PX out there at some stage too. So keep a lookout for that. All right, that is pretty much it at the moment on the OHEX. Let's look at the combined price of EX and PX. This is where we are at the moment, 2 cents. 2 cents at the moment. That's where we are on the EX and PX there. Let's go log and auto that. Is that log? I don't even know if it's that working, but anyway, that is looking pretty good. We were all the way up here at the 2.5 cents back on the 10th. We're down at 2 cents at the moment. So we have faced a little bit of volatility there. And of course, we were back up at 3 cents back up here. Oh, no, it's 2.7. Sorry, 2.7. We were back up at 3 cents here. Yeah, back up here. So that was 3 cents. So we were up at 3 cents here combined. We're now 2 cents combined. So at the bottom of the range, as you go, 2 to 3 cents, kind of a good place to be. And because the next place is, maybe up to 4, 5, 6 cents. So that is the play. All right, let's get back into the final things, the validators. A quick look at those numbers. Wait for that to update. Let's try that one more time. Just as it came up, I tried to refresh. 50,814 validators. So we're pretty much at all-time highs on this. We've got validators around the world. I was talking to a validator yesterday. He's very happy with this validating and just accumulating Pulse every day. So he's pretty happy about that. And he's a big believer in Pulsechain. He can see the future is bright. Pulsechain is the people's chain. Very, very cool. We got 1.63 trillion off the market, so almost 11% of Pulse is off the market. And don't forget, we've got liquid loans coming up that's going to collateralize Pulse, as I say. And if the big players use that, we could get tons more off the supply, and of course, more buying as well. That's a win-win. And, supply and demand, that means generally price goes up pretty aggressively. And it could start to leave people behind suddenly, right? So that's kind of cool from that point of view. Looking forward to that. All right, so that is it. Let's have a look at the gas prices. Now, Ethereum has been super, super high in the gas prices. Let's have a quick look at ultrasound money and have a look at the dashboard for that. And this is the last 7 days. Look at this on Ethereum. Whee! It sucks to be on Ethereum. Now, it is there's cool things to do on there, of course, but the gas prices are insane. You're paying, so much money for a swap and all that sort of stuff. Really is crazy. In fact, let's have a quick look at how much that is now on the old Ethereum there. We'll go to Gas Tracker there and have a look at the prices there. So at the moment, 42 Gwei. You can see it's pretty hardcore. $30 for a swap at the moment on Ethereum. NFT sale, $51. There's your lunch money and your family's lunch money just out the window. Bridging is about $10. Borrowing is about $25 for some of the DeFi. Don't you love Pulsechain? You're paying like a cent or less. So here you're paying $30. And so, yeah, you're paying $30 for maybe a 3 to 5x upside. And on Pulsechain, you're paying 1 cent potentially for 100 upside, so 100x upside depending on what you're in. So yeah, pretty crazy stuff over on Ethereum. And so, yeah, the gas price has been very high lately. Looking at the longer term view, 30 days, you can see that we actually had a very long, where it was about 2 weeks longer this year than last year before the gas prices started to rise, right? So we still had 4 to 5 gwei. And of course, last year it was the 10th of October, but this year it didn't start really rising until the 24th of October. And you can see that here, there's the 24th of October, and then the gas prices started to rise. And the lower gas prices, you said goodbye to 4, 5, 6 gwei, and you're back now in the teens, right? Generally speaking, with occasional drop below, but most of the time it's getting higher and higher and higher now, especially with the market in its pre-bull market sort of phase. And the gas price is getting absolutely ridiculous. Trying to get low gas these days is pretty hard. Like if you can get 18 gas like yesterday, someone was on Zen yesterday minting their batchman on Zen on Ethereum, and they luckily got about 18 or 19 gwei or something, or 20 gwei, and they got that little window. Look, see the little window there? They got that little window in there. Oh my gosh, because the rest of the time it's been up in the 30s and 40s, which is just a much bigger price, right, to pay. So anyway, on Pulsechain, we don't have that problem. At the moment, we've got 470,000 beats. Yes, sir. That's kind of on the low range. And we've got a swap at the moment is 9/10 of a penny. 9/10 of, so it's less than a cent for a Pulsex swap. We've got 700th of a penny for a Pulsecoin transfer. It probably costs you $1 at the moment, or maybe even $1.50, $2 on Ethereum to transfer your Ethereum. That's just to transfer it from one wallet to another. At the moment, it costs 700th of a penny for a Pulsecoin transfer and 2/10 of a penny for a PRC20 transfer. Welcome to Pulsechain. 2,737 times cheaper than Ethereum and 3,700 times cheaper than Bitcoin at the moment. So really, really awesome on the old Pulsechain. Don't we love it? I think we do. We're about to start day 186. That is the results there. We're going to get into the top PRC20s, which is our second category. Before we do that, though, let's catch up in the chat one more time and say hello. Do you like the sunny planet behind me? Sunny planet? Sunny planet. It's like molten lava. Anyway. What else we got going there? We got Thoschart says, I never monetize my YouTube channel and I never shill anything outside my own creativity. But this community always looked out for your for your boy. Incredibly kindness and belief, says Thoschart. Nice one there. That's the cool thing about freedom. People can do what they want. And we like that. We like that. This is a freedom channel as well. Woo! Long time no see. Hey, Thailand. Good to see you. Welcome to the chat as well. It's been a little while. Good to see you. Tintop says a 9-inch found its bottom. Lols, says Tintop. They seem to see, I think they've definitely stabilized their platform. So I think that's a good chance for building back better there as well. I don't know why I keep saying that. Pac-Man says I loaded up on more Pulsex. Nice one, Pac-Man. Well done. Brennan says Claz is crushing it. Crush. What else there? Wow, incentive token is a good price at the moment, says Christian. Let me jump through some of those as well. Brennan says a slight rollover on the charts. Healthy correction, says Brennan. Nice. Pac-Man says, guys, Pulsechain was on Altcoin Daily show now. Oh, nice one there, Pac-Man. They're covering that. That's excellent. Altcoin Daily says Pulsechain can be the next ADA. Yes, indeed. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, as Christian would say. Yes, sir. All right, let's get back into it. This is our second categories of tokens. We've talked about the Richard Hart ones. Before we do, though, we've got Rev 10 in the house there. Hey, everybody. Hey, it's Rev 10. Welcome to the chat. All right, let's move on before I get rugged. All right, so we got the liquidity here on the top PRC20s. The DAI was making a rebound, but it's been pushed. It's been pushed back down to the support levels here. And look at that. So that made a little rally back up to 6,300. Yeah, pushed back down there on PDAI. We will be following this because it's going to be interesting to see whether it can still do any of the aspirations that it had early on about getting up to even all-time highs here at 3/10 of a penny. And so we'll keep watching that, or a cent, or 10 cents, or $1. We'll be watching PDAI. Wrap Bitcoin, of course, is also down. So pretty much down across the board in a lot of these top PRC20s. And that is at $89 at the moment. It dipped down yesterday. It's $80. So there we go on the old Wrap Bitcoin. What else is happening here? Let's have a look. Let's look for something green. SHIB is down 3.8%. Pepe, though, is up 5%. We'll have a quick look at Pepe. Pepe meme coin. Now, I believe Pepe has been adopted on, is it Pulse Markets? I think Pulse Markets there. I hadn't actually brought that up. I think Pepe has been adopted as one of the tokens you can use I think, to buy and sell on Pepe. So that's kind of good news. We'll also get a 9-inch on 9-inch. That could be kind of interesting as well. But I do believe, I think it was Pulse Markets, if I remember right. I was going to pull it up today, but I forgot. But I think the Pepe has been used for that NFT market. Now, we've got 5 NFT markets up and running at the moment, right? We've got 2 more to come, Pixel Park, and of course, 9mm's NFT market. So we'll have at least 7 majors, as we call them. 7 majors, I just made that up. 7 majors NFTs. And that's kind of the play there. So Pepe is, and Pepe's also, there's NFT collections out there on the NFT. They're using Pepe. So Pepe's kind of getting some unusual adoption happening here with the old Pepe coin. We'll try and pull that together a bit, maybe talk about that tomorrow. And see where Pepe is being used, because that's kind of cool when you get a coin starts to get some applications using it. That's pretty much the highlights, I think, on that one. Yeah, nothing much else happening. So we'll move on into our third category, which will be the middle-sized memes. Middle-sized memes. Liquidity there. We're going to talk about 9-inch separately, so we'll pull it out. But Mega there is down 30%. Ouch! Mega's down 30%. Ouchie, ouchie, ouchie. Look at that. Wow. It had a nice little rally, got all the way up to, what's that, 9,300. Is now at 6,400. So down 30% there. So, yeah, you may have opportunity, but you got volatility. The old Mega. It's got Make Ethereum Great Again, but we might have to change the name. Make Mega Great Again. Might have Make Mega Great Again there, but it's still doing okay. Axis Alive there is down 10% as well from the influencer. Axis Alive. TA specialist in the community, and that's down at 4,300. So it's just ticking away there at the bottom. Had some nice fun with that chart though, and away it goes. Was up at 13,300 for a little while. We'll see what happens to that in the future. What else is happening there? Hex Orange address from Abit. This is Abits. I'm pretty sure this is Abits. Abits here. That chart's looking pretty doofus. Is that the right word, doofus? I don't know. Is that bad? I think it's doofus is bad. But it's up 20%, so it's actually doing pretty well today, and the chart looks pretty stellar. And I know that these guys are launching. Are they launching like 50 meme coins? I don't know, but they seem to be everywhere. The old Hex Orange address, oranges as well. They're definitely around. So that's kind of the main play there. It's up 20%. So that's kind of the standout performance among the medium-sized meme coins, which is going to lead us into our fourth category, which is the Pulsechain projects. And let's see how we're going on here. So we're just going to hit, instead of holding by liquidity, we're going to hit the 24-hour and search by them. So we've got GameFi, right? TRH protocol from Jacob and the BNB pot team there. We've got Water is up 28%. So a nice little play there. Small liquidity, like $10,000, but still a nice little rebound on this as well on the old Water there. And I know that Archie in our Discord has been crushing it on his analysis on these projects. So if you want to get cool analysis on these kind of GameFi projects, Archie is crushing it. And of course, he's our in-house quant. You know what a quant is? Have you seen The Big Short with the quant? You got to see that. So it's pretty funny, the whole dialogue about the quant. But anyway, yeah, he's our quant in our Discord, and man, he crushes it. So with the analysis. Now we got Holy as well, is up 12% as well. So these are both part of the TRH protocol. Pulse Reflections is up 10% there. Mint from Mintra, so the NFT, one of those 5 NFT marketplaces, is up 8.6%. So let's have a quick look at that, because I haven't talked about that much lately. Yeah, so pretty much got sold down here, but it's actually managed to bounce up here the last day. So is that 0016? So what's that? 1/1600th of a penny at the moment on the old Mintra. And they've been delivering some quite nice stuff. I think that's sort of been ticking away quite nicely on the old Mintra NFT marketplace. Seed there. So yeah, TRH is really the ones that are up most today. Seed from TRH is up 7.6% as well. Weight token from Coast, which we're about to talk about, is up 7% too. Pulse LN, another one of our on-ramps, and I've used Pulse LN, really great service, doing BNB bridge. Man, that was fantastic, bridging between BNB and Pulsechain. Man, that worked really well, 7% there on Pulse LN, so a big shout out to them. So that's kind of the highlights there. Not everything else up, a couple of small percentages there. But we're going to talk about Weight token, the Coast, and we're going to do the update on that. So let's do that now. That is the Coast chart there at the moment. And of course, if you've got 100,000 Weight tokens, you stake it on the Coast platform, you can get a 1% fee for your transactions there from fiat to CSD stablecoin. And Brian's link. So Brian's our community leader. His link is in the video description. So if you want to get 5,000 Weight token bonus, use that to sign up to Coast. He's also ranked at number 2 behind Crypto Coffee. So you can help him try that, over the next couple of years, we'll try and catch up the crypto copy there, but definitely a good play there on that one. So yeah, 00093 at the moment for the weight token. So a pretty good price to pick it up to at the moment. It's kind of in the middle of the range too since it launched. But let's hear from the update from the Coast team. We've got a small 2-minute clip that they posted out over the last 24 hours.
There, it's Resolute from Coast, just back with a quick weekly roundup of Pulsechain ecosystem and the Coast platform. If we have a look at our analytics page, found at app.0xcoast.com, we can see currently the CST collateral sits slightly above $3 million. That's net economic energy into Pulsechain. Remember, you can view these analytics at any time on our platform if you want to have a look at the fiat that is held in reserves of this stablecoin. Looking at minting versus burning, this gives us an idea as to whether the economic energy is coming into or out of Pulsechain. This is a weekly chart. We can see in the prior fortnight, we had people testing the redemption of CST, noting that CST is redeemable for $1 in your digital bank account whenever it's burnt on our platform. CST continues to trade as stablecoins trade. I wanted to highlight this chart briefly. You can see as the price just dipped below $1, the corresponding activity on chain is multiple buys, and this form of arbitrage can be quite profitable to people on chain. Remember that stablecoins do hold their dollar value largely through arbitrage, but it's important that the inherent redeemability of the coin is for $1, otherwise arbitrage won't occur. In the case of CST, it's redeemable for $1 in your digital bank account, but other decentralized stablecoins that will launch on Pulsechain the next quarter will be redeemable for $1 worth of underlying core asset. For information around the CST stablecoin as well as the Coast platform, make sure to follow at 0xcoast data. And for team updates, they'll mainly come through either our Twitter page at 0xcoast or our Telegram group t.me coast 0x. The last point for any users operating on our platform, if you have any difficulty, please don't bring those to social media. Use the bottom right-hand corner. The blue button will direct you to an intercom chat with our team. We've very deliberately created this because it is a very murky environment on social media dealing with your personal circumstances. We want everyone's transactions to be secure and their information to be secure, so please use the intercom service.
All right, so that was a great update from the Coast team there and Resolute. And of course, if you want to get fiat onto Pulsechain directly, then you can use Brian's referral link in the video description. You get 5,000 weight tokens, which is pretty cool. The other cool thing is that Coast, I think, is the only protocol on Pulsechain that has a customer service helpline. So which is pretty awesome too. That's pretty useful. So hats off to the Coast team for that, and they keep innovating them. So I think that's accessible to 50 countries, I think, approximately at the moment, and they're heading towards about 164 or something like that. So definitely onboarding the world to Pulsechain is directly is pretty awesome. All right, that is pretty much that. Let's move on. We're going to go on to the other thing I want to talk about, which is SparkSwap. We're going to talk about SparkSwap. So SparkSwap, we're officially live with our stable token options for bridging. So this is kind of I would call it an exotic bridging option to Pulsechain. Stable token options for bridging, and we're now interoperable with the Arbitrum network. So that's good news as well. You'll go to Pulse, BNB, and Arbitrum chain stablecoin bridge. So if you're interested in something like that, that's definitely another mechanism for you to go bilaterally between Pulsechain and the BNB and Arbitrum chains. That's substantially cheaper than all the current bridging solutions as well. So that may be something that a lot of you look for in terms of saving on fees. So definitely looking pretty good. That's its exchange SparkSwap. And of course, this link, all the links to cross-chain bridges, on-chain bridges, fiat on-ramps, off-ramps are in our Discord under useful links. So it's all there, folks, for you. And of course, it also got a little bit of explanation as well. We've got a whole list of them now in the Discord, and yeah, they're pretty cool. So you can check them out. And if we go to that link, you can see this is the bridge itself, and you can see that it's got Pulse, PSC, and Arbitrum there. So there we go. And of course, it uses these two EMP tokens here on the Binance and Pulse chain there. Obviously, it's got one on Arbitrum as well. So Cool. I haven't used this myself, but that is definitely an option there that you can consider. Obviously, SparkSwap is a kind of a DEX farm and ROI protocol, so it's sort of more elevated in the upper end of this risk reward profile, but definitely they're offering some utilities on their protocol as well, which is kind of cool. So hats off to them for that. All right, that is the SparkSwap. Now I'm going to post a link to this if you want to check that out in the chat there. SparkSwap if you want to check that out. But it is, like I say, we do have it in our useful links under, we got a whole list of on-chain, cross-chain, and on-ramps in the useful list there, useful links on the Discord so that you can join in the links in the video description. Bam. All right, how are we doing for time? An hour and 1 minute. We're doing very well indeed. Pat on the back. Pat on the back. We're doing well. All right, so SparkSwap. There it is. There it is. All right, kind of cool. Brennan says, yes, remember to revoke permissions using these lesser known bridges after yes. Yeah, that's always a good thing to do, is disconnect from the site after you've used it. Also go into your wallet and disconnect the connection as well. That's very important. And sometimes you can go to, if they have any other approvals, then you can revoke those too through revoke. We've got the revoke site in our Pulsechain projects, I think it is. I think it's in there. I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure it's in there if you want to get to revoke approvals as well. But good observation there, Brennan. All right, what else are we going to say? I think those are the highlights there. That is the Coast update. We've just gone through that, which is kind of cool. I need to retweet that. This is the full update. It has a slightly bit more information about Pulsechain and stuff. I just edited it out, so you can watch the full one there, which is kind of cool. Let me post the copy there to that original version in case you want to check that out. It has a bit more analysis around Pulsechain. Bam. You post that. Bam. There we go. That is it for the Coast one that I just covered earlier with that video. All right, so that is kind of the cool news. We're going to get into the Hex daily stats. So this is with the update there. We're going to get the Hex daily stats. Before we do though, let's go quickly to Pulsechain and let's talk about. Actually, I was going to quickly talk about 9inch, wasn't I? Let me just talk about 9inch. Have a look at that first. We'll quickly have a look at that. 9inch is pretty much the third TVL project on Pulsechain, so we'll have a quick look at that. We can see. Let's have a look at the percentages here. So 9inch from Ethereum is at up 3.8%. 9inch Pulse is up 3.7. So let's have a look. That is the chart there. So it definitely looks like it is bouncing off the bottom. And it looks like the bottom was down at 40163, which is just above the sacrifice price of that I calculated, which was quadruple 01567. We're now at quadruple 01731. Of course, that doesn't include the Ethereum side, but that is just the Pulsechain side. So yeah, it's starting to rise up there at the moment. Let's have a quickly look at the 9inch TVL. We'll have a look at that too. We'll enter the DEX there on that one. Have a quick look. And the TVL on Pulsechain. Yeah, pretty sure. Let me just refresh this one more time and go to the farms. So there's all the farms up at the moment on the old 9inch. Those are the yields that you got at the moment and the farms. Let's look at that quickly. The single side staking pools. Those are the pools that got up and running at the moment. So there we go. Now you can put Pulsex on here now, but of course the yield's pretty low for flexible, 10% for APR. So if you want to park it in, you can. But once again, always the best place for your Richard altcoins is where? It's in your own wallet. It's in your own wallet. All right, you heard it here first. All right, there we go. Maybe on Pulsex, if Pulsex has it, we'll see. Maybe on Power City too. I mean, you got to have pretty high confidence in platforms, don't you? Now I was looking for the TVL. That's not updating here today. I was hoping that would update, but it's not updating. That's a little annoying. Normally that updates. So I'm not sure what's going on there. All right, we're going to get into that. That's about pretty much it. I think that was the highlight. Let's get into Hex daily stats. Hex.com, and of course check it out. You can buy Hex, and then you can burn it for T-shares. Start mining Hex. That's pretty much it. You can do it on Ethereum and Pulsechain. A way to go. You can also do it on Ethereum Power and Ethereum Fair, but it's pretty awkward and not worth a lot over there. So remember, Ethereum and Pulsechain is kind of where it's at. All right, don't tell Hex is the way. Don't tell them. I said that. All right, so we're going over to the results. We got day 1442 on the old Ethereum chain. However, it's not out yet. It keeps happening this way. I don't know why, but we'll go to the Pulsechain because that's always coming out. So Pulsechain there, that's day, what I say, day 185. Is that what I said? Yeah. 13th of November, and we got the price there at 1.32 cents on Pulsechain, down 2.4%. Actually, I'm going to double check that I got the right day because I hate getting the wrong day. 185, yeah, that was right. So we got the payout per T-share is 6.68 hex per T-share. The share rate is 0 today, but it was up 80 yesterday. I was not streaming yesterday. I took the day off, but look at that, 30,397 today. Yesterday's payout was 6.685. The average mine length on Pulsechain is 6.88 years, which is incredible. APY for existing T-share miners is 37.87%. The ownership pool was up 5,000 T-shares yesterday, down 3,500 today. We got 9,808,000 T-shares in the ownership pool mining Hex at the moment. So that's kind of cool. So Hex is really easy to understand. We have a reward pool and we have an ownership pool. In the ownership pool is T-shares, stands for trillions of shares. You have to burn your Hex to get those T-shares, and then you start earning the pulse in the reward pool, or which is pretty cool, or payout pool, as you might want to call it. That's how simple Hex is. How do you get more T-shares? Earlier pays better because the share rate goes up most days. Bigger pays better, up to 150 million. You get up to 10% bonus, up to 150 million Hex. And of course, longer pays better, which is what the most people get bonus for, which is 20% more shares per year up to 10 years. So 200% bonus there, which is pretty cool. So yeah, kind of cool. Now, lock percentage of coins, 9.7% of all Hex is locked on the old Pulsechain. We got pretty good penalties yesterday, 1.4 million, 1.25 million today. We got 65.5 million Hex in that reward payout pool that the T-share owners will get in the ownership pool. And we've got the growth numbers up 34 liquid holders on Pulsechain, up 2 miners on the Pulsechain side. We've got 124,471 miners, which is pretty good. And we haven't got the Ethereum numbers out yet, 1442. They'll probably come out just after the live stream. They seem to be delayed these days, coming out just about 20 minutes later or something. So yeah, we're on day 1443 on Ethereum and day 186 on Pulsechain. Hex.com, of course, check it out. And this is cool. All these sites, by the way, we've got Hex.com in the video description, but also if you go to our Discord, the link's in the video to join. 16 cents a day for that, general membership, and $35 a month for the strategy club, which is a stealth launch at the moment, so you can join early for that one. And we're going to talk about strategy, about how do you pump your bags and make the best decisions and all sorts of stuff. So it's kind of cool. All right, that is pretty much it. We're going to wrap up here though with the roadmap for future projects. Let's quickly talk about that. Here are the projects that we're expecting. Woo-hoo-hoo! Hot dog the dog. I guess we've still got 9-inch there. I'm going to take 9-inch off, but 9-inch is still going to be launching new pools and farms and things like that, I guess. So we're going to take that off though. 9-inch is off the market. I think they've got all their main ones up that we're going to talk about: ETH pools and Pulsex single side staking. Now Fetch Oracle, we're still waiting for that, so we're going to have to move this over. And if we're going to move that over, we've also got to move liquid loans over too. And we're going to move liquid loans a week after that. So we're going to move liquid loans over here, and we're also going to move Power City out as well. So that is the play there at the moment. So we're still waiting for Fetch Oracle. Really, I think probably does have to launch this week if it's going to make the November window. We're currently the 13th, 14th of November. So we're going to put this out for tomorrow. That'll be the 15th of November. Sugar Beet also is coming, so we're going to move that as well. That's any time. That's why we're kind of just shifting Sugar Beet. No formal day on that, but that could be bullish too for Pulsex and Richard Hart coins. At least it gives some marginal impact, but also got some secret sauce there coming out that they said has never been seen before in Sugar Beet. So that's from the Beetroot team, which is absolutely doing an amazing job providing utility and privacy hubs. Dex aggregator and Atlas dashboard for Tetra is coming out. That is a hard date. So that's a hard date there, firmed in for the 17th of November. And then their Tetra staking pool coming out on the 24th. So that's definitely coming up. TRH V4 expected. We've got an estimated window here between late November and early December. PulsePot maybe mid-December. This is tentative date. Note token is pretty a good date there. Not certainty, but pretty good. That's coming out as well. Apparently, I think there's going to be 1 billion tokens. And if you're a member of not Rags, what's his name? Randy Alasky. That's it. Sorry, Randy. Randy Alasky. If you're a member of his Patreons, you get some airdrops of the Note token. And then we got out in the new year, which I'm very excited about this. I think this could be really huge for next year. TYCZ, DeFi Binance taking on Binance itself. And that's going to have validating and potentially maybe the first order book, decentralized order book That could be huge. So I don't want to talk too much about that or to speculate too much, but very excited about that coming up in the new year. Now, obviously, we've got over 180 projects that have launched or will be launching. So this is not a comprehensive one, but in terms of all projects, but definitely some of the big ones are ahead of us here in wave 2 of the project launches. So very, very exciting. Now, I've also got here Richard Hart versus the SEC. So technically on Tuesday the 14th, they had to have a pre-hearing amongst councils to talk about information discovery and potential testimony. Now, we don't know exactly where that's gone to. Richard responded to being served. I'm not sure if anyone's aware of that. I certainly haven't seen it on the official records. So yeah, unless someone else has seen it somewhere else, I've not seen it on the official court site. But in any case, that is what we were expecting to have on Tuesday. So presumably that is probably going ahead, I'm guessing. Just don't know. But anyway, 10 working days after that is the actual hearing, 28th of November. And that's the initial conference, right? So the initial conference with the magistrate judge, and that's RH versus SEC. So that's all hitting this month as well. So, but Richard's been tweeting out a lot, which has been pretty confidence building. So fingers crossed with that one. Maybe they're working towards a deal. Maybe they've got a good front foot case, because I actually think that I know we've had a lawyer from the community talk about it being kind of recently put together. I actually thought it was pretty weak form put together. I thought it was there's lots of errors, and a lot of the arguments could be shot down pretty easily. Now, do you have a friendly New York court judge? Probably not, but we'll see how. Hopefully, we'll see that run through, especially with all the SEC losses lately. That adds to the weight. So question mark over that. We'll just wait and see see how we go. But that is kind of the play there at the moment. That's kind of a forward-looking roadmap. Hope you guys enjoyed today's live stream. And yeah, if you haven't subscribed, smash the subscribe button, hit the like, hit the bell, all that good stuff. Let's get into the final comments though before we wrap up. And let's see who else has jumped in here with some cool insights. Is that you, Brennan? Is that you? Let me just jump on that. Thoshar says, didn't Liquid Loans give their 53 million SACs? It was 51 million, I think, on October the launch, and immutable promises for 2 years. Well, everything has been late, hasn't it, with Rothschild? So, I mean, that's just the way it goes. Obviously, they've been a bit later, but I actually think the timing's playing out pretty well, Rothschild. I think the timing is playing out very good indeed with this early bull market stages playing out. So I think it's going to work out for the best. Sometimes delays can be good in terms of timing, and I think it couldn't be much better than an hour, to be honest. Let me jump through some of those. Let me see here. Charity says, crazy how much these market swings wake up down 20%. What? Yeah, like what? Yeah, it's true. We got some whales playing as well on Pulsechain, right? So we've seen some whales sell. Think we're going to break out, and then we get some whale sells. So that gives a bit of resistance too. I saw a guy the other day who used Revoke something else and got rinsed. You got to use the official Revoke. Yeah, you got to be very careful with the sites that you connect with. Triple check your links, absolutely. Briz says no one loves the Hex Daily Payout more than Briz. Apparently that's true, Briz. Apparently that's true. I know someone that does, though. I generally, I think people accept your statement. I think I know somebody that loves it more than you. I'm not saying who, because it can be controversial, and I don't want to get in trouble. But we are no drama channel afterwards. But after all, so just the way it goes. Hey. Briz agrees. All right. Hashtag in cut the show. Cut the show while we're ahead. Cut the show. I might get red. Look, the threats are coming in already. Emergency. Call the I don't know. Call the feds. The feds are crap, so you can't call them. They'll just help us out. All right. All right. Shall we wrap up? I think so. Hey, we've had a good show today. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. We've covered a lot of cool stuff. And just the way it goes. What's this outro? Yeah. Cut the outro. No. Yeah, we are a freedom channel, family channel, and no drama channel. That's true. That is true. All right, let's wrap it up. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Once again, see you in Discord. Links in the video description. 24/7 on Discord, and we've got an amazing community in there. Get in there, get involved, be active. And it's all about it. We're going to share the journey together of Pulsechain rollout. We are documenting on this channel, and that's just how we go there. Prison's going, no, 4 hours more. 4 hours more. Go. No, we gotta wrap up. An hour 15 is pretty good. That's kind of my max period anyway. Let's play out some cool music on the way out. What should we play today? let's play. We haven't played the old teaser for a while. Let's play the highest of stakes teaser, right? Let's do that. All right, peace out, everybody. Take care. Bye for now.
Is Richard Hart. Genius.
Legendary.
The arrogant, bit of a narcissist.
The benevolent king.
$250,000. Hate me, hate me. I'm farther than you'll ever be in your whole life. Whatever the governments have been doing, it's not worked out. You've never had worse interest rates. Your money has never been worth less. And the only thing that's making it better is cryptocurrency.
Crypto is money without governments, and it is money without banks.
You're not going to meet another product like this as long as you live. Yes, every scammer in the world is going to tell you something similar.
Good morning, everyone. Are you ready to look for some fraud this morning?
They are promising 40% annual return.
Everything I have worked for is staked in Hex.
Good.
I put it all in.
All what?
All of our house money. No, I don't think that it's a scam. Because I trust Richard Hart.
If ultimately this is all a big performance art project, people are going to get fucked.
So that means I should trust you.
Listen, I think you should trust me, but if you get into the habit of trusting people like me, you'll get the crap scammed out of you.